So you want to become a master of all the weapon types, of all the land, of all the ways to pierce your enemy. Okay, well, I'm gonna stop talking like that. Anyways, multi-weapons. Multi-weapons, multi-weapons. So I had someone come in the stream the other day and was asking about multi-weapons. So I figured I'd just kind of clear things up here. So like, what are multi-weapons? Multi-weapons are exactly what they sound like. You can put a weapon onto a weapon, but multi-weapons, now you can use two weapons for the cost of one, right? So multi-weapons are good for a few reasons. First and foremost, multi-weapons are good for saving money because you don't have to level up two weapons and augment two weapons, right? So if you're playing two different classes, and I'll touch on this later, if you're playing two different classes, then this works out really great if you're using those two different weapons for those classes, assuming that the augments work properly for both classes, right? This is also a great method in terms of if you're playing a class that has two main weapons, such as like Braver, who has katana and bow, or Gunner, who has twin machine guns and rifle, or so and so and so and so. So this is a great method in that regard as well that you can easily pick up on. So it's really just a way of maximizing, and that's really what it is there. Now, how do you multi-weapon? You can multi-weapon by going to the enhancement NPC, and you'll see the drop-down menu that says multi-weapon, and you want to choose the weapon that you're using first, and then the second one that you choose is going to be the one that is put onto that weapon that you chose first. Remember that the material that you choose second is the one that is going to be lost. It's going to be gone. Never ever choose the one with the augments and stuff second. It will disappear. You will lose all your augments. So the first weapon is the one that you're going to keep. The second weapon is the one that is going to go bye bye. So that's how you are going to multi-weapon. That's real simple, real straightforward. Now, how exactly does multi-weapon work in regards to what you lose, what you gain? So the big thing here is that you understand what your main class weapons are. And you also understand that augments have different powers on them, right? You have the range potency, you have melee potency, you have tech potency, and then you just have potency. Potency applies to everything, right? So if you have augments that are just potency, then that's applying for every type of potency that there is, right? So tech, range, and melee. But if you have melee and you're not playing a melee class, you're not going to get that benefit. So say for instance you have a katana and it's multi-weapon with a rod, right? So that's melee and that's tech, right? Now you play Braver, but you also play force, or you play tech, or whichever one uses rod. This rod and wand, it's always like flip-flop because the other one should be the other one. You get what I'm saying? So you play these both, right? But on your augments you have melee potency enhanced plus 3.0%. So when you're on your force, you are not getting a benefit from that. Okay, you're not getting a benefit from that at all. So make sure that your augments align with what that weapon is multi-weapon with, or how you're going to be playing it. Obviously, the easiest way to go about this is just have potency augments, which you can do, but the potency augments are usually the more expensive ones, right? But not really, because there's a lot of great options of like wardrobe and stuff like that. But the potency options are always, the flat potency ones are always going to be the more expensive ones in comparison to the ones that have two of the three types on them. Okay. Now, do you lose anything from this? Do you lose anything from multi-weapon? You do if it's not your main class weapon. Remember how I was saying to emphasize the main class weapon earlier? That's the biggest thing. That's the biggest thing that you need to worry about is the main class weapon, because if it's not the main class weapon, you're going to get an immediate damage reduction. That's how the game works, period. If it's not one of the weapons listed on your main class, so for say Braver is katana and bow, if it's not katana and bow, whatever weapon you are using that is not katana and bow takes a damage decrease. You get penalized by it. by not using your main weapon. So you might be like, okay, well, okay, I understand that. But so if I multi-weapon something to it, that's not a braver main weapon, is it going to work properly? Yes, it will, assuming that the weapon that you multi-weapon to it and the class that you're using when you're using that multi-weapon, that's the main weapon for it, right? So like I said before, you know, like if you're on gunner or something like that and you multi-weapon a twin machine gun to the katana, right? So if you're on braver and you're using that katana and then you're like, oh, well, I want to use the twin machine guns, but you're still on braver, not going to work. You can do it, but you're taking the damage decrease because you're still on braver, you're using the twin machine guns, but those twin machine guns aren't your main weapon. So you're going to take a decrease there. Now, if you decide you want to change over to gunner, you want to use twin machine guns, perfect, because now that's your main weapon. Those are part of the gunner main weapon kit, right? It's real simple, but I know it can sound complicated when you're not like really hitting it, right? So that's how that one's going to work. That's the biggest thing. Everything else stays the same. If you're on hunter, you're getting all your hunter, all your hunter skill tree stuff. You're getting all that stuff, except for the ones that say work specifically on so-and-so class weapons only, which it will tell you on the skill tree. You will see that on the skill tree. You have your natural passives, and then you have your abilities that work specifically for those weapons, and it says it on all of them. So there's no question about it. You just look at it, look at the ones that say works on this weapon only, works on main class hunter weapons only, so and so and so. And of course, naturally, it's only going to work on that main weapon, right? So it's pretty straightforward in that regard. Otherwise, all the passives that you still have on that main class that you're on stay regardless, right? Because you're on hunter, you're on bravery. You get those passives that you have naturally still because you're on the main class, right? Regardless. So that's how that one works. Hopefully that helps for people who are new to the multi-weapon system. Like I said, I had someone come into the stream the other day and ask this, so I wanted to touch on it. So I always kind of just here for everyone in the future. Just you can find it real easily, and there's no questions about it. So hopefully this helped. Be sure to like and subscribe. I will see y'all in the next one. Happy multi-weaponing and stay golden, Pony boy. Spike2 content.